Okay, this is a fun place to start.
Yep.
Are you proud of 2024?
Fuck, great question. I mean, flip. Great question. Am I proud of 2024? I think I am. Yeah, I definitely am. 2024 was the year that a lot, not all, but a lot of the things that I was putting my faith in, all the plans that I was putting my faith in and hoping that I was right. Like I had an idea and I was like, I think this will work and it's not what other people are doing, but I reckon it's going to get me there. And obviously when you're doing something like that, you're doing something a little bit different to what everyone else is doing. You're always getting thoughts. Or when things aren't going well, at least you get thoughts of, this is stupid, and of course it's not working, and if it was this easy, everyone would do it, and blah, 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 blah. And so it was, 2024 was a year that, first time that those sort of things actually worked out. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
So, the drum caravan is a great example of that. It's like a really simple example of something that I've got an idea, I think this will be cool, and whenever I told anyone about it, they probably weren't thinking this, but what I heard when they would go, oh yeah, cool, was, that's stupid, you're stupid. That's not gonna work.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's so much doubt about it, and I wanted to not finish that thing so many times. But that fact that it got finished and then has been useful in exactly the way I hoped it would be useful sort of proved to me that sometimes I can have an idea that is a bit different and I can actually be correct about that. You know what I mean? It's the whole like Galileo globe, like round Earth thing, where sometimes if you're thinking against the grain and you're a genius, you know what I mean? Everyone else says the world is flat and you go, actually, I'm pretty sure the world is round. And then everyone persecutes you for it. Like, oh, you're a big idiot, you're a big idiot, you're a big idiot. But just because everyone thinks you're wrong doesn't mean you're wrong. You're just seeing something that other people aren't seeing. Sometimes that's the case. That's what you hope is happening when you have a unique idea. But it's just as true that flat earthers now think that that's who they are. You know what I mean? Everyone's saying the world is round and flat earthers are going, we have a unique insight that says the world is flat. And everyone's saying we're wrong, just like everyone said that Newton was wrong when he read. Is this making sense?
Yeah.
Having a unique idea, and then 2024 was the first year that I felt like I had a unique idea and that it actually came to fruition, proving to myself that at least some of the time, when I think something that it doesn't feel like other people around me think, I might be right and they all might be wrong. It's not, like, that's not misplaced faith in myself.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So what happened in 2024 for that? Because the van was 2023, 2?
Probably finished at 23, end of 23, I will say. So 24 was my business. Like, my teaching business, I'd wanted to get it to a financial point for such a long time, and kept getting it and going back and then going up and then going back and going back. And it finally got to the place where I wanted it to be. And I had this vision that when that happened, I would basically work one day a week and do a little bit of nonsense another time, and I would finally go and train jiu-jitsu, which I'd been telling myself I wanted to do for like 5 years. And then I actually did it, me working. I was like, oh my God. I'd literally teach one day a week, and I just go and essentially work out every other day of the week. And it was awesome. And it was this, what's the word I'm looking for? Affirming. It was this really affirming moment of, I can have a crazy plan and then it can actually work.
Well, that's a dream for musicians. Work one day a week, get to do music that day you're working.
And the original idea.
Yeah.
That's what I was meant to do.
Yeah.
When I went down to one day a week, I was meant to do music every other day of the week, but that's worked out, yeah.
Yes. But now, like, the OnlyFans content and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Making you heaps of money.
That was a joke.
Cool. Generic. It's a joke now. It's important to things to come.
Cool. So all that spare time. Works is
Hey,
good.
man.
So how does, let's say you're a young musician,
Yeah.
how would you get to that point quicker?
It's a good question. Let me try and give a succinct answer, and then I'll try to expand on that answer. Succinct answer is the same way that anyone gets to that point quicker, which is you have to back yourself to do something that people around you are not doing. If it's an obvious statement once you hear it, and we've all heard it 1,000 times, but if you want uncommon results, you have to do an uncommon thing. So, then musicians, as with anyone, they don't do that. You know what I mean? They go, oh, if I work a job at Coles, and that's somehow going to free my life up to make music all the time. That doesn't make any sense. You're just doing what everyone else is doing. You're obviously going to end up the same place everyone else does. So whatever the idea is, doesn't really matter. You just have to have the faith in yourself, back yourself, to really go hard on something and take a big risk. Is the only way you're ever going to get there. Whether you can get there quickly or not, I don't know. I didn't get there quickly. It took like 5 years.
Yeah, maybe the answer is just not trying to get there quickly either.
So that's a good point.
Like, why the rush? I guess the rush is you're like, yeah, doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But that's obviously creating that tension to actually create. Like, you won't do anything about it if there's not building tension and like creating leverage on yourself to actually go out and do something hard.
Yeah, you have to be uncomfortable you have to be dissatisfied in order to change stuff and work on stuff. Matthew Rodriguez messaged the other day. If obviously had a bad day, sent a message saying, hey man, what do you do? How do you deal with it when you've had what feels like a really unproductive day and you know you could have done a lot more and you're bigging yourself up over it? Like, how do you reframe that so that you're not hating yourself? I asked a couple questions and then it's basically like, why would you want to reframe that? Like, you fucked up. Like, you had a shit day, you got nothing done, you should be mad at yourself. Like, that's how you're going to be better tomorrow, is hate the fact that you failed. You wasted 8 hours of the day watching Netflix or whatever. That's not what you want to do with your time, so you should be upset. And you should be cross with yourself. Now, obviously there's a difference between being cross with yourself and that's it, or being cross with yourself and immediately going, well, what am I going to do differently tomorrow? How did I end up in the position where I watch Netflix for 8 hours a day? I should just rip my TV out of or throw it in the bin, because all it does is distract me from the things that I want to do. But yeah, like the idea that the road to success is paved with good feelings. That doesn't make any sense. If you're satisfied, you're just going to stay where you are, which is actually, to go off on another little tangent, is sort of where I am now. Is I got the business to the point, and now it's like, at the end of last year, I got the business to the point and then slacked off and things started going wrong. Now I've had to really refocus on it. Because I was too satisfied with where I was and let everything regress to a potentially dangerous point where a lot of it might have gone away. So I had to all of a sudden go, I got big wake up call. I go, oh my God, I need to stop treating this thing like it's going to be the same forever. Like, I need to keep working on it a little bit. So yeah, dissatisfaction. If you're not dissatisfied,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Hold yourself to a higher standard.
Where attention goes, energy flows.
Whoa, say that again.
So wherever your attention is, if you set something up and you go, okay, cool, I've done that, it's all good, I'm gonna not worry about that, then like it very quickly can degrade down to because it's just not getting your attention, so it can end your energy to actually sustain that and keep it going. So I think the big thing is, even if you're exactly right, you've got to make sure that you are telling yourself that you want to be on top of those things, and you got to tell yourself that, like, you just got to catch yourself when you are slipping. And you're exactly right, just not being okay with when you're wasting time.
Yeah.
But you also need to waste time to, again, create that leverage that I just spoke about. So what'd you have to do? What'd you have to do to fix that? Your business went, what was happening?
What was happening was I was just I was just satisfied with things that were good enough, really. And so what happened to fix that was I sat down with one of the guys who works here and asked what I felt was going to be a pretty innocuous question of, hey, by the way, man, like, is there anything around here that you think I can be doing a little bit better? And then what happened next was 45 minutes of just getting railed at this guy. Heaps and heaps of stuff.
Since you asked.
Yeah, exactly, that he was deeply unsatisfied with. Yeah, just shat on it, which was difficult to listen to at the time, and it put me in a pretty bad mood for a couple of days, because although none of them were attacks on me, they were statements of low quality about something that I had built and was very much mine, and so it was very difficult for emotionally not to feel like I was taking it personally. So part of me did take it personally, and thank God, because then I was really upset with myself, and then I fixed it. You know what I mean? It's what I was saying before with Matt, where it's like, if you have to be running from a stick to come and do anything interesting. So yeah, basically just looked for feedback and got smashed, and then realized, what did I realize? Realized basically I was doing a bad job, and I didn't like doing a bad job, so they fixed a bunch of stuff. Yeah. And I feel like my intuition is that that's going to happen again, is that a sort of inevitably, as things go well, my standards will slip again. And so I'm sort of thinking about it not as a way of how do I ensure my standards never slip. It's that, how do I catch them sooner? What systems can I put in place so that instead of it dropping from here to here before anyone's upset enough to tell me about it, it goes from here to here, and I'm checking in regularly enough that the people go, oh yeah, by the way, but I don't know if you noticed, but the place is a fucking mess, and there's name canisters everywhere. Yeah, it's like, oh, you're right, I probably shouldn't leave the names lying about. I'm like, whoa, good point, man. How did I not think of that? But that's how blind I feel like I get to this stuff sometimes. This stuff, it's so obvious. But when your attention's not there, your energy is not there, and so yeah, it seems obvious to other people.
Yeah, it just slips.
Just goes so far.
You kind of, there's this weird thing, right? We talk about it in sales where they call it the floor of disgust.
Yep.
But what'll happen, and this happens all the time, is the stuff that got you there in the first place.
Yep.
You stop doing once you get there.
Yep.
Most of the time. So if we use a sales-based analogy, actually, let's use a music-based analogy.
Yep.
So you go, fuck it, I'm a shit musician.
Yep.
And you put lots of energy into learning how to play guitar better, learning how to sing better. You go into all these lessons, you got a band, you're putting in all this work and all this effort.
Yep.
Then you write this awesome album and you go, oh yeah, sick, I've written an awesome album. Who's this about? Yeah, no one. And then you write this awesome album and then you go, yeah, sick, okay, let's say it's a great album, it's awesome. And then what you do is you stop doing all of the things that got you there, and then you write that album, you've stopped doing lessons, you've stopped rehearsing as a band. Another year comes past and you guys go to write an album, and it'd probably be fairly rubbish because you haven't been putting in work.
Yeah.
Same thing, if I could make some assumptions with your business,
yeah,
it's like you would have been putting in the hours, you would have been really on top of all of the check-ins and making sure that all your teachers are in a really good spot.
Yeah, 100%.
It got to a really good spot, and then you go, oh, I don't have to do any of those things anymore because everything's going really, really good.
Yeah.
And then you got to work twice as hard to get it back there. 100%. Because you don't realize that, you just don't realize that what it was that actually got you there in the first place, which is normally just discipline. That's all it is. It's just how disciplined are you.
Yeah, that reminds me of a really interesting experience I've been having lately on piano. So I went home for Christmas, there's a piano at home, I was mucking about it, and I really can't really play piano. Like I know where the notes stuff are from using it to compose music, but I've never really tried to play piano. But yeah, Grandma wanted to sing The Gambler or whatever. So it's like, okay, I'll look up the chords and I can sort of work out how to do this thing. And I've been listening to a lot of Muse lately. We've been speaking about how amazing that album is, Origin of Symmetry. And there's all these awesome piano parts of it. So I was like, maybe I can try and work this out. So I started working it out and then just got like obsessed with it. So that's one of the big things that's been taking my attention at the start of this year is trying to learn this song on piano. And I've had this really interesting... It's taught me a lot about how to learn and how to teach. It's funny because every time I feel like I know everything about learning and teaching, something like this happens and I'm like, whoa, totally paradigm shift. Which was... It actually isn't taking much time, cumulative time, to get much, much better at this song. It's taking like 10-minute chunks 5 times a day. And I just do it until I don't feel like doing it anymore. And then I do it one more time. And then I just stop when I just go do something. And it's just a tiny, tiny portion of my day. And that is reaping way more dividends than sitting there and playing it 10 times and then being like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I never really force myself to do another 400 times because the next 400 reps are sort of garbage. It's like going to the gym. You get to the end of the workout and your body's completely trashed and you've got like no nervous system drive anymore. And you go, I'm going to stay here and do another hip thrust. So like it's called, what do they call it? Trash reps or something like that. Or cheap reps. No. If you're trying, that's some term for it. Junk reps. Junk volume. Junk volume is the term it uses. Junk volume. Where you do 40 sets of bench press in one workout, and it's like the first 8 were useful, and the next 12 actually didn't do anything because everything was too fatigued for you to get anywhere near your
Tension that you need.
the tension that you needed. And so it's like, just go home. You're just much better off getting effective work at it and then going home to move back later.
Very similar to the gym as well. Recovery in learning something is just as important as recovery for muscles.
That's when the learning actually happens. Like, you don't actually get... This is the other big paradigm shift, is I'm playing it and I'm not trying to get better as I'm playing it. I'm just trying to play it.
Yeah.
Like, if I play it at half tempo 10 times, I'm not in that session then going, I'm going to now play it at 3/4 tempo. I'm just happy to play it at half tempo 10 times, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, and magically now I can play it at 3/4 tempo, even though I hadn't played it beforehand. Like, yes, it's the time in between the practice that actually makes you good, which is why doing lots of little practice sessions is giving me way more, because I'll play for 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, go away, do something else for 3 hours, come back, and be way better than I was when I finished the session before, which is just like blowing my
mind. Science brain works. It just recovers, and it's especially if you do some learning and then go to sleep, your brain will just like download that information to the part of your brain where it needs to be to make it happen.
Yeah. I think I've told this story before on a different podcast with Dart or something, but it's worth describing. This amazing sleep study that Matthew Walker spoke about, one of his podcasts, and they were working out the relationship between sleep and learning, right? And what they did was they got these mice, they put them in a maze, and they got them to work out how to get through the maze. And they connected some electrodes to their brain, so when different parts of their brain lit up, a different note would play. So it would go like, boom, and they'd run around the little maze, and they'd get around this corner and go, ding, boom, blah, 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 blah. So then if you played that audio recording, it would have a melody to it, a very slow melody. Boom, ding, boom, etc. So that happened, right? And then the mice go to sleep at the end of the day. And at some stage in their sleep cycle, that same melody begins to play again. But it doesn't play at regular speed. It plays at like 100x speed. Instead of the slow one as before, it goes... And it does it like 5,000 times. And they wake up the next day and they snatch the maze out. Because they've just practiced it 5,000 times in their sleep. So like, that's when you learn. When you're practicing something on an instrument, you're not trying to get better there. You're basically just like drawing. I think of it as drawing a map. When I'm explaining to students, you have a bit of sketch paper and you're drawing a diagram on that sketch paper. And you just want to jump with that. If you have a really, really faint pencil, you have to go draw lines once and then go over the lines like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times. More times the better. Because then the deeper the impression is going to be. And then overnight, your brain takes that sketch paper, and puts it on the mold thing, and like laser engraves it in. And the laser engraving is when you're really actually making progress, but you have to make sure that the map is perfect and very clear, which is why practicing something at a speed that you're not playing it perfectly is actually doing you a disservice, because it means you've drawn this beautiful outline, you go over it again with your pencil, you go over it again with pencil, and then the fifth time you go over it, one of the lines is wrong. So now when you give it to your brain in the day and they go to laser engrave it, it's like, and maybe it engraves the wrong line. Disaster. You've alerted it the wrong way. So like pushing for speed or whatever, it's just all so irrelevant when you're practicing, because but you think it's important because you're trying to get better. You're not trying to get better. You're trying to make a map to give to your brain so that when you sleep, you'll get better. That's when you actually get better. It's just a completely different way of practicing, which is just do it in a way that you can play it perfectly 20 times and then goes
crazy. And that's really easier, right?
way easier.
Crazy. So much easier. If you just went, okay, I want to learn this song. I'm just going to spend 10 minutes every morning playing the song. Yep, by the end of the week, it'll be fucking awesome. It'll be so good. Instead of going, I need to, I've got this whole day, I'm going to block out an entire day, I'm going to nail this.
Super ineffective. No, super ineffective. You'll get a little bit better over the course of that day. You'll get, like if you spend 8 hours practicing something, you'll get better, obviously, than if you'd spent 10 minutes practicing something. But so you might get 1.5 times better or something like that, maybe twice as good. But if you spread that 8 hours out over 8 days, you'll get 100 times better. So yeah, it's about getting the minimum effective dose of practice and then doing something else. And the doing something else can be very short. The other big insight that I've had is if I play it 10, 20 times and then do something else for 10 minutes and come back, that's so much better than playing it 40 times in a row. So much better, because I'll come back and I'll be better. Like it's like the 20 minutes of doing something else in the back of my head somewhere, my subconscious was engraving that just a little bit into my brain. So, yeah, I guess the point that I'm making, which is a point that I already knew, that I've taught people, but it's really like slanted my brain with this piano practice, is just do it enough that you're and this is the other thing, actually. This is the other big thing about it, is it's mean this whole time, practice has been fun as. So I've only done it until it's not. I've stopped when it's not been fun. Well, actually, I've done 1 or 2 more after it's not been fun, for discipline's sake, right? 1 or 2 more after it's not been fun or effect, because when it starts to not get fun, you tend to not play as good anyway. So making sure that all the reps are good is the most important thing. Playing it till the reps start to get garbage. Have a little moment. Do 1 or 2 more good ones, and then watch 10 minutes of house, and then do it again. Bang it. Incredible. Bang it. It's just been fun with me. I'm just so excited. And I don't know why I can't apply this to drums right now. Like I haven't been as excited to practice drums as I am right now to play piano in like years.
Novelty.
For sure.
You probably feel like you've hit a plateau for drums?
Yep. Yeah. But if it is those 2 things, if it's novelty, what's the solution to that? How do I make drums feel novel? If it's piano is new and exciting, how do I make drums new and exciting?
I think it's finding inspiration. So finding new artists that will inspire you the same way that Muse has made you, that's sick.
Yeah.
It's making sure that you're putting yourself into discovery phase. Yeah, you can find.
Discovery phase is a great word for it.
Yeah. Like, you got to, again, it's leverage. You got to create leverage on yourself to show yourself that you are not as good as you think you are.
Yeah.
Same as everything that we've been speaking about so far, the business and everything.
Yeah.
You've gotten to a level of comfort, so you need to find something that makes you feel uncomfortable again.
That is huge. It's the. I mean, that's just exactly what it is. I need to put myself in a room where I'm sort of scared of how not good I am again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God, I really want to get better.
Need to be around some better drummers.
basically, I think, yeah, that's a. I've had this dream for ages that I'm going to go to Berkeley one day, which is ridiculous because I'm like almost 30. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go back to study in a different country. Like, what am I talking about? But this idea that yak. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is jiu-jitsu, okay, is super motivating to get better at because you go there and there is a class of people who are all way better than you, so you are constantly getting slammed in the face with how much you have left to learn.
Also, you got it wrapped around your waist. How much you got left to learn.
Totally. Every time you go to put on your white belt, and you're,
Oh, and your white belt. No, I suck. Big black belts looking at you. Come here.
And
he's comfortable. He's comfortable.
He's so comfortable. And you go in there, and so you have this visual representation of how terrible you are and how much ahead of you have to go. And you get an instantaneous reminder of the impact of your lack of skill because you go and roll with someone and they just destroy you and it's super uncomfortable. It's like, I want to not be getting smashed all the time because it's an unpleasant experience. Blah, 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 blah. There's also the social pressure of, oh my god, I'm sore, I'm not going to go to train today. If, the other guys are there, and if you're not there, they're going to give you heaps of shit for not being there. And also, they're going to get one session better while you're not getting one session better. So
Accountability.
And the skill gap's going to just get even worse. Everyone's better than me now. Imagine if they train today and I don't, they're going to be a little bit better than me again. And so I'm never going to catch up with them. Blah, 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 blah. It's just like a perfect way to make someone obsessed with a thing. It's got all the ingredients to make someone go over and over and over. And I feel like I need that for music because there was a time period in my life where I was super self-motivated and could force myself to go and practice for 4 hours, and it was a fun time because I was really obsessed with getting better. And now that I say that, what was I doing at the time of my life? I was at music university, so I was surrounded by people who were playing music all the time, and there was drummers there who were shitting all over me, and it was annoying me, and so I was really, really wanted to get better. So how do I get that? I need a belt. And you know what belt I am? And I need to...
Just got to surround yourself with people that are better than
shredded on me. Yeah. They're like... I mean, they're definitely around. There's definitely heaps of drummers in Brisbane who shit all over me. But how do I get them to come hang out with me and tell me I suck? Like, what's that look like?
Sure. Send them a message.
Hey,
find out who they are.
Come for a drum jam.
Yeah, come.
I should have a weekly drum jam. Locked in every week, this hour to this hour, we have a drum jam.
Yeah.
And then they'll shred all over me, and the rest of the week, all I'll be able to think about is, we can't have that.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't have fucking shit out. Yeah, that's bullshit. Joe Blogs is a moron. He absolutely smashed me. I can't have it.
Hey, Joe Blogs, you sweet friend.
Yeah. You notice I used a fake name. Oh,
You just need to give yourself the leverage. The thing that made me put more effort in the guitar was going, oh no, I'm not going to have a lead guitarist again. So there was enough leverage there to go, okay, I need to put in the time and the energy to do that. Yeah. And yeah, so we just got to work out how to, you'll have more fun if you are doing that. It makes perfect sense. So maybe there's a drummer that wants to come on here. Just find drummers, get them on the podcast.
What?
Make an introduction.
What?
If you're a drummer listening, reach out.
So there's some drummers of mine who I know would shred all over me, who probably really interesting people, so...
Yeah.
Dear. How does it... This is probably not interesting for the podcast, but now I'm excited about this idea. Drum jam. Logistically.
How's that work? What do you mean? How would you do it? Yeah.
Probably down here, right?
Yeah. What would you do?
You just bonk the couches over there. 2 drum kits set up. Be loud.
Like just two drummers?
Yeah. Just drummers facing each other. I think that's what I need in my life. I think I need a weekly
musician catch up kind of thing.
Yeah. Which is sort of what Friday should be.
Shouldn't they? Yeah, I agree. There should be this. They should be jamming. They should be doing the things. I agree.
Yeah. I'm hunting for. I'm really missing in my life. Just making music with people.
Yeah.
And the way that forces you to be better. And also is super fun. Like when I go and do my little autistic, what do I do with my time right now, and what should I be doing with how would I make myself 1% better, and what are some, here's a list of 40 activities split into different categories. What's a fun thing to do? It's on the fun list. It's come up for years now, is like, should be going to jam nights, I should be jamming with musicians all the time, I really miss that, blah 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 blah. But like, we have a once a week whole day dedicated to music with the musicians who I'm closest to on the planet. How is that how is that itch not being scratched already?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
It's redacted.
It's super redacted. But is it good? Okay, but like, actually, what's wrong? Like, why is it not happening?
The issue is we fill our day up with stuff that we could potentially be doing throughout the rest of the week.
Right.
Maybe, right? So, okay, 2025, give me your perfect year.
Whoa. Okay, I will. First, I'm gonna get my build up. It's gonna happen in the next 3 months. Blue belt, tick. Done. Business is gonna be back to where it needs to be. On our band account, there will be a new video posted every single day. That's not going to require 2 weeks of my life every month to do. I could work out the perfect workflow so it's not this epic undertaking. And I'm 20% a better drummer.
Sure.
20% a lot. That's scary.
It is a lot. It is a lot. So I was more so thinking Fridays. So
That's a better question.
yeah, that's all great. Now
Oh, great. I don't give a fuck about that. Why don't you tell me something that actually relates to me? Yeah, there's those random nonsense.
I think
That was point, bro.
that's all good. So very nice. Let's tie that in to Fridays because
Perfect Fridays.
yeah.
Content. One day. Filmed. Not just filmed. Filmed and the amount of editing that I need to do or that we need to do is done enough to send it off to whoever does the rest of it. It's probably like film it, audio, make sure the audio mix is good, sync it, send it off to someone to make the content. They make it, that's good. That's it. Hey, done. That's one Friday.
Mm-hmm.
The next 3 Fridays, I guess, are just making music.
Yeah. How good would that be? So, So we're dropping an album.
Yep.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'll kill myself if we don't.
Yeah.
No. I'd be like, it was in the podcast. I knew it was coming.
But he has to kill him Sunday. Someone's going to send that. Someone's going to clip that and send it to you on the 1st of January 2026.
Hello. Kill yourself.
Fucking kill yourself, man, bro.
So that's gonna happen. Like, same thing for me. If we just get the album out and we do this and meet a bunch of people,
Yep.
and tell their stories, get them jamming, get them doing fun stuff with us.
That would be so sick if a musical guest comes over and we jam with them. That's talking about getting credibility with musical people. Which is part of what this is for, right?
Yeah.
Edits part out. Like, surely that's a way to get epic credibility with someone, is if a music comes along and then they play with us and they actually like the way we'll play. Like, oh my god, it sounds really good. Prerequisite, they have to be really good. So, assuming we're really good, then surely that just gets bulk. They will like us better.
You'd think so. So that's the idea. Is Well, the whole point of this is to create value for artists.
Yep.
So if we dig into that even more, create as much value as we can for them, then we'll like it. So if we can do this and spend some time with them, give them a little bit of, just have fun. Have fun.
Yeah. Once Teague and I removed it here, we had this big plan about we're for our weekly dinner parties. Do you remember this? Talking about this?
Yeah.
And we went through this whole process. So I'm trying to say it. The bar has to be the kind of dinner party that when they leave, they can't help but tell their friends about it. Be like, oh, what's you on the weekend? Be like, I went Chicken Nick's just for like dinner. And it was the craziest, most incredible night. Like, I didn't know a dinner party could be so good. That's what the podcast has to be.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So Lee goes, I want to go over to the Pinglands Mansion. And I had the best day. I had this amazing chat with Zach, and he was so insightful, and I just couldn't stop looking at his baby blues, and he was just staring right into my soul, and I like spoke about stuff I never knew I was going to speak about. I just feel like a lighter, fresher human for having gotten that off my chest. And then we went upstairs and we jammed. It was just like, damn, these guys are killers, dude. Just murdering, man. Just killing. It was just a great day. I've never heard my songs sound so good as when I played it with the Patient Batch guys.
That would be fun as a reframe. Yeah, we're talking about reframing songs.
Yep.
Imagine.
Yep.
Like getting them to bring one of that songs.
Yep.
Not really telling us much about that song.
Yep. Agreed.
And then us just spending an hour and going, okay, cool. These are your lyrics. How would we write this song in an hour?
Yep.
With other people's souls.
Yeah. Super
That
fun.
would be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
Super fun. I love that stuff.
Should use it because they'll have, obviously, the hardest part of the reframe was having to, like, kind of where to start and where to take it. But if they go, oh, these are the chords and this is the lyrics of this song I've been working on.
Yep.
That would be so much fun.
He's fun.
And we upload that, chuck it on YouTube.
And now they've got a recording of their song. They're like, if they're not like that's how it sounded in my head, as long as they still like it,
Yeah.
then I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, what's like a version.
Yeah, totally.
That would be sick. So we got to do that. We got to do that. So perfect year in there. Perfect year. Fridays are for that.
Yep.
And obviously cabins are for getting the album out. And we're going to keep cabinet. I guess we got it. Otherwise, the Florida scuffed thing will happen and we'll lose all momentum.
Yeah.
And then we'll do this awesome album and then
Release it to a bunch of screaming fans. And then they'll go, when's the next one? And we'll go, we'll be back in 2-3 years. Yeah. Yeah, and Tool. I think that sort of time.
yeah, it's going to be a long time. Which we don't want to do that. We want to go, single just dropped. The last single dropped.
Yep.
The album dropped.
Yep.
The album number 1.
Yeah.
7.
Coming next
and
week.
7. Next week, single of 6. Because it's not yet. We're just going to get backwards. We're going to start 7. Right? We're doing 7 albums.
Yeah.
We committed.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to start with 7, go back, and then once we're done, we'll kill ourselves.
Yes. I remember warning. I remember that being one of the things that made me first take notice of Quentin Tarantino as a director. And I didn't remember his name, and I heard someone say, "Oh yeah, he's only got 3 movies left." And I was like, "What are you talking about? Who is this person? How does someone only have 3 movies left?" Oh, he said like 10 years ago, "I'm making 13 movies of whatever it is," and yeah, he's made 10 of them. So I guess he's almost done.
That's it.
And immediately, she's like, there's so much tension there. Like, I need to know everything about this person. Google, watch all the movies. Helps it. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a really interesting hook into people's brain. It's such a strange thing to do.
It is. So 7. So heads up. Album number 7. From Regage You in the War of Art.
Regage.
Are we saying that right?
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Album number 1. Spoiler alert for anyone that actually jumps on the podcast. Name change is happening. Name change is locked and loaded, right?
The name change is locked and loaded. don't know if Regazio and the War of Art is locked and loaded, although I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan, too.
It's definitely something in the War of Art.
Maybe it's just war. It could just be a War of Art. I'm still not convinced that it's not just a War of Art, but Regazio and the War of Art just has a very...
Just feels a bit of fun. Just feels like a bit of fun. It's got that hiatus coyote. Yeah, it's a bit zany, a little bit different. Yeah, and what's it going to be? It creates a question, doesn't it? Yeah, what's it going to be?
Fuck is Regazio and the War of Art?
Yeah, it's a great question.
The better question than what is patient language. Much better question. Patient language is just like that's sort of nonsense words. Regazio and the War of Art. Who is Regazio? What is a War of Art?
There's a story there. Yeah, it's already creating a narrative. Damn, I like it more now.
No.
Genuinely, yeah, it's cool.
Regazio said, Regazio is reminding me of the evil creatures from Pacific Rim. The fucking
They call Regazio?
they're something really close to that though. Pacific Rim is that ridiculous movie. It's like giant mech robots fighting giant Godzilla creatures, and they've got it's very silly, but it's very fun. They've got like the giant robot has like a rocket booster to punch. The Godzilla creatures get bugged out. But they're called something like the Regazio is what the evil alien Godzillas are called.
Well, hopefully we're just saying Regazio, right?
What are they called, bro? Kaiju.
Kaiju.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's cool. That makes me like Regazio.
Regazio.
Because it makes her sound like maybe she's an evil creature from the deep. Which is...
In Japan.
In Japan. Which is super interesting.
Yeah. Regazio.
And it's rock music, it's kind of dark music, monsters and shit.
I love the alliteration of it.
Yeah.
Regazio in the War of Art. Sounds so
Regazio in the War of Art.
Yeah, it sounds like a Rage Against the Machine line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's I'm getting more and more hooked. The more and more excited to tell that, to create that story and that narrative. So here's a good question.
Yeah.
Do we, for the first time, kind of dive deep into creating that world?
To explain.
When it comes to content, social media content and branding, do we have this world where, spoiler alert, Trish Regazio is the muse, the goddess?
It's a really interesting question. So, I'm yet to work out a way. What am I trying to say? There's this kind of very dramatic, very cinematic version of social media that I've seen a handful of accounts do, not many, where it's like the account exists in a universe that is not our universe, and you just sort of dive it into whatever this universe is whenever their reel pops up. And so, and once you get acclimatized to it, you're expecting and understanding that, oh, this is not some dude with their iPhone in his living room. This is this other world. And it's like very narrative driven. And it's super, super cool. And I can only assume that it happens very infrequently because it's really, really hard to do in a not lame way.
That's the problem, right? It restricts, unless you've got a massive budget, it restricts the amount of content you can put out.
Right.
Because if you do that and you've got this otherworldly, godly looking video of Trish, and the next one's like, hey guys, I'm just here too.
Totally. It has to be bang you all the time.
Correct.
Yeah, there's this great Instagram page that I think I recently started following, and it's those like Vox Pop street interviews that everyone's doing, rating it out of 10, like that stuff. But it's set in like on an alien planet, and so all the people that they're interviewing stuff are all these like weird, grotesque aliens, and it's very, very funny. And it's just one dude doing it, but to your point, it is all in universe, and it's never breaking the fourth wall. It's like it's as if you're on interdimensional cable from Rick and Morty, and you found the Instagram from Klaxon 9, and you're watching the Instagram from Klaxon 9, and it's like super cool but consistent. Like you can't ever break that feed, which is really. I don't know how we would do that, and at the very least, if we were to work out a way to do it, it would be significantly more difficult than just doing whatever other band does, which is just filming songs and putting them up. And that works. Like this, but this is sort of, again, what I was saying before, but just doing what everyone else does can work. Like, there's plenty of fan pages that do really well from just filming them playing their songs, and they upload the thing, and they have a little caption, and they have a little hook, and then just upload a bunch of videos of that. I've got 200,000 followers. Cool. That if we want to go super dramatic and story-driven and stuff, yeah, I just don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah. Thought though.
Yeah.
The story of the protagonist in our story is not that different to us. Where we are.
True.
So maybe there is middle ground there somewhere. Maybe we do just keep Trish for looking like a goddess, and then it's just tricky.
Yeah. You could maybe use the AI. The AI art didn't really work, but I haven't tried yet AI video generation, which in the last month has got significantly better. Google found a new one that's kind of insane. So if you're trying to all in universe, yeah, it would become very sort of David Bowie-esque. You know how he would be Ziggy Stardust for an hour or a tour or whatever, and so that's who he is in all his interviews and and he's that in that universe.
For sure. Well, Trish would be like a Maynard.
Yeah. 100%.
If you were to dig into it, when you're on stage, she could be behind a silhouette or something. Like, you could go really hard.
You call that narrative, and that sort of drama and intrigue. It's obviously good because it's intriguing. But the problems obviously being, to your point, like all the awesome content that Trish got last Friday, which was like really like quite good stories. I thought she captured good stuff, and the brief that I gave her was the reels aren't going to get really our personality across very much. Just going to be a lot of music and story. So the story posts are for people to get to know who we are, which is what's so cool about social media, and therefore our personalities and blah 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 blah. But you can't do that.
Yeah.
If you go full in universe,
For sure.
you should then have Matt and I, debate on a thing and being funny and being ourselves.
Maybe you can't. Okay. I'm thinking of like Taylor Swift and that kind of thing. Do they post stories of them just talking at the camera? Because they create a universe for their tours and everything.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know Taylor Swift stuff well, but she's this character in the story, whatever she's doing, she is a character within our universe. It's just sort of her turned up a little bit. Sabrina Carpenter is just like a portion of Sabrina Carpenter's actual personality. She's just sort of focusing on that. What we're talking about is like a fantasy universe where there is a goddess and...
Yeah, it's showing a music video or a movie through this beard.
Yeah, exactly, which is different to playing a character in our current universe. It's like pretending we are in a different universe altogether. So I don't think you can ever break character.
Scary.
Yeah, what to do. Like, it's super interesting, and I like that it's different. Wish and cook it out. Maybe that can be. So this cycle, I'm just going to do music stuff. And then if we want to try it, that's the whole point of this right now. So we're testing ideas. Next month, if you want, we can be like, okay, what would it look like if it was in universe?
Maybe there is a middle ground somewhere where it's like the Instagram is like, we are creating this story.
And this is us creating the story.
Yeah, right.
So you've got the behind the scenes, and then you've also got that. This is what it looks like. Same way like a photography channel or a videography channel. We do behind the scenes stuff, and then a lot of that content.
It's Corridor Crew, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, this is our awesome content that we make.
Yeah.
And then here's us also making the content.
Yeah, really interesting idea.
Taking a step out. It's like, this is the artist's journey. Here's the artist creating the artist's journey.
I get what you're saying. All right, let's try that next time around. Let's try, which will be, I think, Apricot. So, which is a good song for it. So we can, what would in-universe content look like? Try and cook that up. And, well, that's the next trick. We can work out what the in-universe content will look like. Okay, we can just do that. Try.
Yeah. Photo shoot. Work out. Surely. Sarah can, sure, it's just that's all to hit her up. So
Yeah. This is see what it's she's just visually such an awesome brand as well. Not that that's why you're in band. But she is just like captivating because so beautiful, and the headshot of her. I mean, you sent the headshot of her. It was photo. It's just like immediately way more interesting photo on it. Shoot. Yeah, it is though. She's more particularly for rock music.
Oh, absolutely. That face, rock music, what?
What?
That's a question. What's that going to sound like?
Super interesting.
7. What's that going to, why? Yeah, so many questions. And then it is all about wasn't that Tico? Said this once.
He said it's all about the music, bro.
No, he said it's all about the questions. He said it was all about music.
He said that.
He also said, what makes good music is asking good questions.
I don't remember that, but I believe you. I don't remember most of that conversation.
I'm pretty sure. But that also inspired us to go to Canada.
Yeah, you feel right. Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, how good. In such a good spot.
Okay, I'm immediately intrigued by this in-universe content. Let's go set up upstairs, and while we're doing that, brainstorm what the in-universe Apricot Instagram is look like. Because the thing is, I don't think they don't look like movies. They look like Instagram content, but Instagram content from that universe. You know what I mean? It sort of look like Instagram content. 'Cause, like, it doesn't look like Instagram content. It doesn't perform well on Instagram.
Correct. Yeah,
So-
so it's going to be native.
It's got to sort of seem native, but native to this alternate universe version of here.
Which it's like, do you act? What do you do?
I get a little bit like you got it.
Yeah, you got, well, that's the only thing. I'm sure they're acting.
Yeah. It's one dude, and he acts, and then he describes the workflow. He basically like captures it in camera, and then uses a bunch of AI tools to completely change what he looks like, and voice change himself, and all this kind of stuff to be this like weird alien lady.
So he does it behind the scenes of what he's doing.
Oh, he I think he says it in the comment. I like the description. He's like, or maybe you did, or maybe it's on the bio. It's somewhere that's like captured with this, and then voice changed with this, and then thingo with this, and thingo with this. Apart from that, as far as I can tell, he doesn't acknowledge that it's not real.
Yeah, so it's like, how do we create that universe?
Yeah, what does the protagonist's content look like when he's going through Agrippa? Like, if he was a vlogger or something.
That's interesting. Hey guys, always just got murdered by some shadowy figure.
Totally.
What's going on? Yeah.
That's pretty much, I think, what it would be. Because what are the top style of Instagram content would work to tell the narrative from?
Yeah.
Some have to be got vlogs. Otherwise, how do you tell the story?
That is interesting.
Yeah. Full on like film project.
Yeah.
You know what will be awesome? Because if we could pay someone. We've tried that before. It doesn't work. Yeah, but this is pretty different. This is. It's different.
All right.
Anyway, let's get set up. Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.